Have you ever found yourself giving way more than you plan to give? Like staying late after a meeting to continue the conversation, or staying on a call with a potential client just to make sure that they got the value they needed, that you actually helped them. This happens to me quite often. Just this week, I was on a clarity call with a former client, and we were only supposed to be on the call for about 30 minutes, but we ran into a few things and we were working them out together. And we actually about landed the plane probably like 45 minutes or 50 minutes. But then I thought of one more thing that I thought might really be beneficial for them. And so I politely asked them, hey, I know we've already gone over time. Do you have a little more time? I've got one more idea to run past you. And they said, sure. And so by the time we ended up going through that whole, going through that next thing that I wanted to share with them, it'd probably been like an hour and 10 minutes. And there's no pitch, no sale to this person. I just wanted to leave the person better off than when we got on the call and make sure that they had the tools that they needed to move forward with their podcast in this next chapter and season that they were stepping into. And my wife loves to joke around about me going way over. She'll ask me usually after a call, how did it go? And I'll be like, oh, it was great. And quite often I'll be like, it went over a little bit, or in this case on Thursday, we went over by like 30 minutes, and she loves to joke about it. But deep down, I know that this is important because I'm leading with value first with the people that I'm working with. And even though I haven't seen it pay back dollar for dollar, I've seen the trust built, I've seen the relationships that it's built, and I've seen some of these people just send me unexpected messages out of the blue that offer encouragement to me and the work that I'm doing that I didn't ask them for. So it's just a really awesome way to do business. And that's why today I want to have a real conversation with you about what it actually looks like to build a business through your podcast, and why trusting the slow, invisible work is the secret most people miss when they chase profit too early. If you're new here, welcome to the Podcaster's Journey. My name is Kaleb, and I'm super glad that you're here to listen and journey with me in this journey with podcasting. This show is about helping creatives, helping entrepreneurs, and content builders just like you grow a sustainable podcast, one that creates rhythm, that builds trust, and that beats burnout along the way. We do that through honest storytelling here, simple frameworks, and real-life experiences from the trenches. I'm living this experience right now. This is not, several years removed. I'm trying to figure this out as we go. We're in the middle of a 90-day sprint for me to figure out if I can make this work financially. Because I believe that the journey matters just as much as the destination does. So today's episode is going to be a little bit of an encouragement and a little bit of a reality check for you. If you're trying to sell through your podcast like I'm trying to do, but you're feeling like you're moving slower than expected, don't worry. You're not doing it wrong. I'm here to assure you of that. You're actually doing it right. So in just a second, we're going to be jumping into why building trust through your content is a slow game, why that's a good thing, and how you can adjust your mindset so you don't burn out before you have your breakthrough. So let's jump into this. Here's the thing. You are not the problem. The real problem is that most of us, myself included, are trying to get fast results out of a system that is designed for slow and steady trust to be grown and built. Think of trust like a tree. It takes a lot of time and energy and effort to grow. It's not like a weed. It doesn't just pop up and happen overnight. So if we don't adjust our expectations around how this system works and how this game is played, we risk giving up way too soon and missing out on the opportunities that could actually change our lives through podcasting. Podcasting isn't transactional. It's transformational. If we think about what we're trying to help people do, we're trying to help the people, if we're using the story brand framework from Donald Miller, our listener is the hero of their own story. We are the guide of their story. Think of any movie or any tale that you love to listen or read or watch, there's always the hero of the story, and they meet a guide who helps transform their life and make their life better. So that's who we are as podcast hosts. We are the guide of other people's stories. And it's transformational. Think about your listener is here on one cliff, there's a straight down cliff, a huge chasm, and on the other side is another cliff. And this is where they want to get to, is over here. But your listener's all the way over here. And we're trying to help them by providing them with a transformational journey from where they're at to where they're trying to go. So keep that in mind, because trust moves slower than our viral culture teaches us to expect. We're so used to microwaves and TikTok hooks. While yes, people's attention span is so much shorter, and we do have to be intentional about how we hook people in, we have to also understand that even though it takes a lot of effort and we can hook people in really fast, it still takes a lot of time for that trust to be built. That part has not shrunk down in size at all. And without adjusting our expectations, burnout and discouragement are almost guaranteed. So let's talk about this. The first thing I want to talk about is your content first businesses are trust first businesses. So if you're trying to build something around your content, around your podcast, then you have to be thinking about building trust with your audience. Think of each episode that you make as a brick of trust. And we're trying to build a bridge. Like we were saying earlier, your listener is here, and where they're trying to get to, the transformation, that brick is building a bridge across that chasm. It's invisible growth at first, and the visible payoff happens later. It's not something that happens really quick. I'm just really trying to drive home the point that this takes time and energy and effort, and helping us adjust our expectations is super crucial. So the second thing is speed expectations are set by the wrong models and metrics. Social media celebrates fast wins, where in podcasting and true business growth, relationships build over time. So we should be celebrating daily deposits. We should be celebrating relationships that we're making. We should be celebrating spending extra time and giving away more value than we planned to. These are the kind of things that add up over time and compound, and they're going to create, like social media is like a firecracker, like just boom, bang, and it's done and it's over. But when you're creating trust and you're creating a podcast, it builds something stronger. It's trying to think of a good analogy to go with a firecracker, and I'm not coming up with anything, but it's not that fast burn up and burn out like that. We're building something strong that lasts a long time. And so I want to talk here for just a minute about celebrating deposits. Instead of celebrating our vanity metrics like our downloads or different things like that, which a lot of sponsors are going to look at, let's focus on our deposits. Let's focus on, did I spend 15 minutes writing messages to people in my niche who would benefit from the podcast, to try to develop a relationship with them, not just to shove my show down their throat and say, did you listen to my podcast episode? But to actually try to work with them, understand what problems they're having, and create solutions through your podcast and in conjunction with your podcast to actually help these people. So don't let your speed expectations be set by the wrong models. Readjust those to things that are actually beneficial for your business and beneficial for building trust and relationships over time. And embrace this next part, embrace that slow growth protects you from the burnout. Systems, experience, and personal growth can't be rushed. When I jumped into this journey like a year ago, when I really decided that I wanted to make my business, Podcast Builders, something successful financially and to replace my wife's income about a year ago, I was like, I'm going all in. I'm hiring a business coach. I'm going to read all the business books. I'm going to get as much content as I can with my hands and just take all this stuff in so that I can blaze a shortcut to the top. And the truth of the matter is, this stuff all takes time and it can't be rushed. The systems that have to be put in place, the experiences that we have to have that grow us, that make our lives richer, that in turn make the help that we can give other people richer, the personal growth, all this stuff can't be rushed. It's all there. Man, I even think about like if I had achieved what I set out to achieve when I first set out with this business. I was planning to build this company that would generate $250,000 a year in annual revenue, and I thought I could do it from the get-go, just in the state that I was in with the systems that I had. And now almost a year later, I'm like, wow, that was like, yeah, great goal, way to shoot for the moon, but like if I would have got that, I would have burned out so fast because it wouldn't have been sustainable for the person I was 12 months ago. The person I am now, it's closer. I'm not sure that I'm ready to say that I'm ready to handle that right now, but it's definitely closer, and I've definitely grown a ton to be able to help support those people and actually care about people and actually be able to help them with the systems and keep up with it and not just burn myself out. Another idea is that trust compounds quietly and then it tips. Listeners are building trust even if they're silent. Even if your audience is like a sea of crickets right now and there's nobody responding to you, believe me, if you've got people listening and you've got downloads every week, somebody is paying attention to what you're doing. And they're trying to give what they're looking for right now, in my opinion, is enough time and space by listening to your content and making sure that you both are aligned together before they reach out and say, hey, I'd like to work with you. They're a fan of yours, maybe not a fan. I'm not sure what the word would be. They're the step below a fan, but they're rooting for you silently. And one of these days you're going to publish one extra brick that's going to finish that bridge, and they're going to come and tell you about it. So the growth can sometimes feel sudden. And I think that's a lot of what overnight success is we don't see a lot of this quiet, intentional growth that happens behind scenes and setting up all these systems and spending time sending messages and direct messaging people intentionally with actual value. That we don't see all that stuff. We just see the success side of it. So adjust your expectations to let that trust compound quietly, and think about it truly as compounding. It's not just growing, it's compounding with your listeners. Adjust your scoreboard. Early wins for podcasters like us equals consistency, improving our craft, and helping one person at a time. We talked about earlier about those deposits. These are some of our deposits that we can really zero in on. Progress you can't see is still progress. Just because your downloads aren't where you want them to be, just because your listener rate isn't exactly where you want it to be, just because you were turned down by somebody who you really thought would be a great fit on your podcast to be a guest, or you were turned down to be a guest on somebody else's podcast, you're still putting in the reps. You're being consistent with your podcast. You're improving your craft of writing your scripts and delivering them on camera. You're helping each person you come in contact with, and every person that you help builds your ability to help the next person in a deeper and more meaningful way. So adjust your scoreboard. You're not failing, you're not falling behind, you're exactly where you need to be, and it's awesome. It's compounding. And I just want to remind you that I'm not here in this seat behind this microphone talking to you because I've figured it all out. I'm here because I'm walking this journey too. I've lived the long, slow build as a music artist, and part of that, I'm still in that. And I've learned a lot even from podcasting and working on this business that I'm going to take back and help myself with in the music artist route as well. But as an entrepreneur right now, trusting the process when the results feel far away is hard. But I have to believe and trust that it's worth it. And I've got this feeling in my stomach, in my gut, that I trust that just around the corner is where a lot of this work that I've been putting in for the last year is going to start clicking. I don't think it's going to be the $250,000 annual revenue that I was hoping for and aiming for then. I think it'll grow into that someday. But I feel like all this work that's compounded over the last 12 months is about to start taking shape. And I believe it for you too. You've just got to take time and give yourself space to actually allow that to happen. So if you take one thing from this episode, let it be this. Real trust takes time to grow. Plant it as a seed with your listener and give it space and time. Water it. Be intentional about giving that seed nourishment through further episodes by continuing to add bricks and add those episodes so that your listeners can continue to grow that trust. Give yourself permission to play the long game. Don't be in a hurry to get to your success. You're not going to arrive and like everything changes in your life. Think about the person you want to be and start building that right now. That doesn't happen when you have your success. It happens right now because success is built on trust, is slower, but it's stronger and it's so worth it. It's a much more stable foundation and it'll carry you much further in this life. So if you're starting a podcast or if you're building your content, don't judge its success by the first 10 episodes. I love to tell people when I'm on a call with them that your first few episodes are like making pancakes. The first few episodes, you're just kind of getting the griddle temperature warmed up. You're getting everything, the batter, everything just right. I've never actually thrown the pancakes away, but I've heard that a lot of people treat those first few pancakes as just kind of like, well, we're just getting things set up here. So have that mindset. The first 10 episodes, you're just getting your feet wet. You're just getting to know your microphone. You're just getting to know how to write your script. You're just getting to know how to deliver value to your listeners. What I would challenge you to do is to commit to 100 episodes before you reevaluate. It's going to be super powerful. That's what I did. It's definitely pulled me through some weeks where I'm like, I did not want to sit down and actually make the episode. But because I knew that I had committed to that publicly in episode 1, unintentionally, it just kind of came out of my mouth, and I'm so glad it did. It's been something that's been very beneficial for me, and I would challenge you to do the same. Commit to those 100 episodes and enjoy the journey from episode 1 to episode 100. It's going to be transformational for you. I guarantee it. So if today's episode resonated with you at all, if you're realizing that you want to build something real, something trust-centered, and something that lasts, that's exactly what I work with podcasters on inside my cohort, From Chaos to Clarity. It's a 6-week journey where we build systems, content strategies, and momentum that you need to grow in a trust-first business through podcasting. It's a great place for coaches, for creative entrepreneurs, and for creatives in general to come in and learn the foundations, the frameworks, and the mindset that's going to set you up to reach that 100 episodes. So if that sounds like the right next step for you, you can learn more in the link down in the show notes. There's a link down there where you can check out the landing page. You can also book a free clarity call with me. It's 100%. It is not a sales call. It is completely a clarity call so that I can get to know you and your situation better, and you can get to know me and what I have to offer in a personal level. And I promise to respect your time. We will not go over time if you've got a tight schedule. But if I see that there's value to be added and you have the time, we may go a little bit over there. So if that sounds like something that would be beneficial or helpful for you, please check out the link. Please book a clarity call. Be more than happy to talk to you. Either way, stay encouraged, stay steady. What you're building really matters, even if you can't see it yet. Believe in it. So until next week, happy